Well, another early memory and project kind of around that era, which I was not around for, but I just know of and have watched, but the short film you guys made, Firearm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How did that come to be? That was like Tim Boise's kind of thing, right?
Tim Boise was more like he had lived out in L.A. and was an actor. He had booked some gigs. He had done some shit in commercials. Anyways, he was like the leader of the Nut House Improv Troupe. And we both were into, filmmaking. We're like, we should write a script, make a movie. And Dave DeMiro, too, was also really interested in, like, producing a film. So we wrote, the first script I ever wrote was Firearm. I co-wrote it with Tim. And then we had, got money together and knew some, real filmmaking pros that helped us make, that we hired them. And and so we had Heath Franklin, who was like the producer, camera, he directed the movie more than we did. We wrote it, and we acted in it, but he had all the filmmaking experience. And this guy Darwin and this guy John, the sound guy, they all were really, good pros that still work in the industry, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, we wanted to make a movie, so we wrote this script. Seemed good enough, hired these guys, shot it. That was like a year after we started doing the Nut House Improv show. We made that, October 2010, I think.
Did you guys screen it at a Nut House night?
No, so we made this movie. We spent, I don't know, shot it for like a week or something like that at Castlehane Park mostly, and a couple other spots. But anyways. And then we screened it at Front Street Brewery, up in their beam room in the top floor. And, it was cool. It was a cool screening. Had a pretty good crowd. Turned out pretty good reaction. It was kind of like, the home crowd team or whatever, home team crowd or whatever. So I think they were nice, because it's not a very funny movie. But and then we did nothing with it. And then I had a kid right after that. So I was like, fuck, I don't know. I don't have. That just dropped off my thoughts of what should we do with this movie now that we've made it? I don't think we might have entered it into a couple. I don't think it didn't get into Cucaloris. It got into some Cape Fear film festival thing. And then I finally was like, hey, Steve, you have a DVD copy of that? And I put it online a few months ago.